Welcome back to another chilling episode. Today we dive into the dark and disturbing world of police officer horror stories. These tales are not for the faint of heart, filled with eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena that will leave you questioning the line between reality and nightmare. We're talking about the brave men and women who walk the thin blue line, facing danger head-on every day. But sometimes, the danger they encounter goes beyond the realm of the explainable, into the shadows where fear takes hold. These are the stories that keep officers awake at night, the ones they whisper about in hushed tones, the ones that send shivers down your spine. Imagine a place built to protect and serve, now echoing with the whispers of tragedy. This story takes us to a police station, a place that has seen its share of darkness, but nothing could prepare the officers for what they would encounter. It all started with strange noises, disembodied footsteps echoing down empty hallways, doors slamming shut on their own, and whispers seeming to come from the very walls. Then, objects began to move inexplicably, files vanishing from locked drawers only to reappear in strange places, chairs seemingly dragged across the floor by unseen hands. The officers chalked it up to pranks at first, but the activity only intensified, growing bolder and more unsettling. One officer swore he saw a shadowy figure standing at the end of a hallway, its eyes glowing an eerie red, before it vanished into thin air. The legend of the station spread like wildfire among the force, and soon, officers were reluctant to work the night shift, their fear palpable in the heavy silence that hung in the air. Some whispered that the station was haunted by the ghost of a former officer, a man who had died under mysterious circumstances within the station walls. They say his spirit, unable to find peace, now wandered the halls, seeking answers, or perhaps revenge. Was it simply their imaginations running wild, fueled by late nights and the weight of their duty? Or was there something truly sinister lurking in the shadows of the station, a force that defied explanation? Our next story takes us to the quiet streets of a small town, a stark contrast to the bustling cityscapes we often associate with police work. Officer Mark Jenkins was a seasoned veteran, known for his calm demeanor and dedication to his job. One cold December night, Officer Jenkins set out on his usual patrol, a routine he knew like the back of his hand. He radioed in his location, his voice calm and steady, a beacon of normalcy in the quiet night. That was the last anyone ever heard from him. Hours passed, and when Officer Jenkins failed to respond to repeated calls, a search party was dispatched. They scoured the area, their hearts pounding with a growing sense of dread, but found no sign of Officer Jenkins or his patrol car. Days turned into weeks. The investigation intensified, but the mystery only deepened. The only clue left behind was Officer Jenkins's patrol car, discovered abandoned on a deserted stretch of highway, miles from his last reported location. The car was unlocked, the engine cold, and inside, his belongings remained untouched. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Some whispered about a dark presence in those woods, a force that swallowed people whole, leaving no trace behind. But without evidence, the case grew cold, a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers that lurked in the shadows. What happened to Officer Jenkins that night? Was he the victim of foul play, or did something more sinister befall him on that lonely stretch of highway? Chapter 3. The Possessed Patrol Car. Picture this: a patrol car, a symbol of law and order, now behaving as if controlled by an unseen force. This is the story of Unit 13, a patrol car that earned a sinister reputation among the officers who dared to drive it. It began subtly, almost unnoticeable, the radio flickering between stations, the engine sputtering at random intervals. But soon, the incidents escalated. Officers reported feeling a strange presence in the car, a cold chill that clung to them even on the hottest days. Some swore they saw the headlights flicker on and off on their own, as if the car itself was watching them. Unit 13 seemed to have a mind of its own, leading officers to dangerous situations, speeding up unexpectedly, slamming on the brakes without warning, the steering wheel jerking violently in their hands. One officer, shaken to his core, claimed that the car had driven him to a deserted alley, the engine dying as soon as he stopped, leaving him vulnerable and terrified. Another swore he felt something cold and unseen brush against his hand as he reached for the gear shift. The rumors spread like wildfire, and soon no one dared to drive Unit 13. It sat in the station parking lot, a silent and ominous reminder of the unseen forces that surrounded them. Chapter 4. The Phantom Call. In the eerie silence of the night, a call crackles through the police scanner, a desperate plea for help echoing through the otherwise quiet station. This is the chilling tale of the Phantom Call, a phenomenon that plagued the officers of a bustling city. It always started the same way, a frantic voice on the other end of the line, pleading for help, describing a scene of chaos and terror. The officers, bound by duty and driven by a sense of urgency, would race to the given address, sirens wailing, only to be met with an unsettling truth. The address didn't exist. There was no house, no crime scene, no victim, just an empty lot, shrouded in an eerie silence that sent shivers down their spines. These calls became more frequent, the voice on the other end growing more desperate, more insistent. The officers, torn between their duty to help and the growing fear that they were being lured into a trap, found themselves at a loss, their rational minds struggling to comprehend the unexplainable. Were these calls a cruel prank, a figment of their imaginations, or something more sinister? What was the force behind these phantom calls, and what did it want? Chapter 5. The Cursed Badge. Imagine a symbol of honor and duty, now tainted with a darkness that sends chills down the spine. This is the story of badge number 777, a seemingly ordinary piece of metal that carried a chilling legacy. Legend had it that this badge, passed down through generations of officers, was cursed, bringing misfortune and death to anyone who wore it. The stories surrounding badge 777 were as varied as they were unsettling. One officer, new to the force and unaware of the badge's dark history, wore it with pride, only to meet a gruesome end in the line of duty just weeks later. Another officer, a seasoned veteran, scoffed at the rumors, dismissing them as superstitious nonsense. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. He too met an untimely end, the victim of a freak accident that left his fellow officers reeling. As the body count grew, so did the legend of the cursed badge. It became a symbol of dread, whispered about in hushed tones, locked away in a dark drawer, its surface gleaming ominously under the dim station lights. Was it merely a string of unfortunate coincidences, or was there something more sinister at play? A malevolent force clinging to the cold metal of badge 777? These stories remind us that even those who protect and serve can encounter the unexplainable and the terrifying. The men and women in blue face the unknown with courage and determination, even when confronted with the darkest corners of human experience and the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. So the next time you see a police officer, remember the weight of their duty, the unseen dangers they face, and the sacrifices they make every day. And if you ever find yourself facing the unexplainable, remember these stories, a chilling reminder that the truth can often be stranger and far more terrifying than fiction. Stay safe out there. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more chilling tales.